I used to think love was something that only came once, that once it was gone, it never returned, not in the same form, not with the same person. I learned how wrong I was the hard way. Nathan and I were high school sweethearts, the kind of couple everyone thought would last forever. We had dreams, plans, and promises whispered beneath starlit skies. But life, as it does, got in the way. He got a job offer in another country. I got a scholarship to a university across the country. We tried the long-distance thing, but eventually, the calls became shorter, the texts less frequent, and one day, we just stopped trying. Years passed. I built a life in the city, steady job, new friends, even a fiancé. His name was Eric. He was kind, dependable, and everything on paper said he was the right choice. But even during our engagement, there were quiet moments where I found myself thinking about Nathan. Not with longing, just wonder, what if? 3 weeks before my wedding, I was invited to a conference out of town. I almost declined, but something told me to go. I arrived late, slipped into the back of the auditorium, and froze. On the stage, presenting confidently, was Nathan. Older, broader shoulders, the same gentle eyes. I didn't know whether to run or cry. After his talk, he saw me. For a moment, the years melted away. He walked straight to me, his voice soft and stunned. "Emma." One word, and suddenly I remembered every version of us. We talked that night, and the next. He told me he had thought of me often, even tried to find me once. I told him about my engagement. His smile faltered, but he didn't try to change my mind. He just asked me one question: "Are you happy?" I lied. I said yes. But back in my hotel room, I couldn't stop thinking about how Eric never made my heart race the way Nathan just had by saying my name, about how safe and predictable my life had become, about how I'd built something solid but not something that set my soul on fire. A week later, I called off the wedding. It wasn't easy. Eric was devastated, and so was my family. But deep down, I knew I couldn't say I do to someone when a piece of my heart belonged elsewhere. I didn't run back to Nathan immediately. I needed time to heal, to make sure I wasn't chasing nostalgia. But he waited. 2 months later, I met him at the same cafe where we'd had our first date all those years ago. I walked in, and sure of what I'd say, he stood up slowly and whispered, "You came back." And I did. Not just to him, but to the version of myself that still believed in passion, in fire, in the kind of love that doesn't fade with time. Sometimes, love doesn't need a grand beginning. It just needs a second chance. Thanks for watching. Please like and hit the subscribe button.